All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jordan Report, and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, guys, we really got some dark days ahead of us. If the people of New York can't figure this out, something that's staring right in their face, then we really have some bad times ahead of us. New York just so happens to be one of the major power centers of the Jewish world, people. Anything that happens in that city, the Jews are responsible. The people who you seeing sleeping on your streets were brought there by a series of Jewish networks. The Jews have been open advocates of illegal immigration for decades in this country. Now, I'm watching all the demonstrations and people are fighting in the streets over this stuff, but none of this is directed at the people who are actually responsible. So you're missing the mark, people. You should be standing in front of synagogues and Jewish businesses if you were really angry. That's what you would be doing. Those are the people that's going to destroy your city. And believe me, this is just starting. You people got another few million people coming your way. Another few million is on the way, in the pipeline. So get ready, people.
Swallowing roads and stuff and everything. It's all about one stroke. It is an active living museum. This was the tree itself. Actually, the idea is that some different roots of the tree.
This place, you have a very large.
New York.
What is the stone? It's still a function. In other words, when they took down the computer.
Just to continue uplift our voices against the anti-Semitism that we're seeing taking place across the globe, and New York City having one of the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. It is imperative that as the mayor, that I send a very clear and loud message. We did this in Greece with over 50 mayors to go after anti-Semitism, and now we want to come here to what is considered by the Jewish community as their homeland, to send a very clear and loud message and reinforce our determination to stamp out anti-Semitism and really embrace, as we walk through the Christian church, as we walk through the mosque, as we walk through synagogues in this area, we realize that we are all here together and we must coexist together. We hit the ground running from the day we landed, and this is probably one of the most emotional, significant moments that we have been here at the Western Wall to really show our respect for the rich culture, faith, and belief that surrounds this amazing country.
You have to walk, sir. Just keep going, keep going. You have to...
שנייה, אנחנו כבר באים.
I want to give everybody a quick update on some information that all of us should already know, people. The Jews have openly been advocates of open borders for years, people. This is not anything that's hidden. All the way up until this point, where things have gotten this bad, they were open advocates. Okay? So I'm not making anything up. I'm just going to give you a quick review so we'll know what we're talking about. So we'll know where to direct our anger at and direct our energy towards. This is 2014, The Atlantic. why immigration reform is a Jewish issue. Jews understand why we may not be the ones on the buses today. We've been there before. You see, it's a personal thing to them, or at least that's what they're telling us. Okay, here's 2020, right before the election. Most American Jews, immigration looms large in the voting booth, and they don't like what Trump has done. Okay? Donald Trump has leaned heavily on his Israel policy record to make his case to Jewish voters. But polls show that most American Jews first weigh domestic issues when deciding whom to support, and on whom one issue in particular, immigration. The president's policy are especially unlikely to have won them over. Fueled by an awareness of their roots as perpetual refugees and recent immigrants, American Jews have been long at the forefront of immigration advocacy in the United States. What else do you need to know, people? Okay? These are the groups that bring them in here. These are the refugee groups that bring them in here. This is one of the biggest ones. HAZ, National Refugee Shabbat, comes to Oregon, 2018. Okay? HAZ, the Global Jewish Movement to Protect Refugees, is sponsoring National Refugee Shabbat, a series of week-end-long events taking place in Jewish congregations across the country. People, you should be standing in front of these Jewish synagogues protesting them for what is happening in your cities. They're the ones who brought them there. Now, you may not like hearing that, but that's the truth. I have no idea why the people of New York wouldn't know this. With their heavy Jewish presence, it has to be obvious that they are the ones responsible for bringing those people into the city. I have no idea why the New Yorkers don't know this. National Refugee Shabbat is a movement for congregations, organizations, and individuals around the country to create a Shabbat experience dedicated to the refugees. Okay? Now we're going to get into Eric Adams.
Aboarding our trip headed to Israel, a real partner for us in the region. Many important stops. Number one, technology. We also are going to go to real important religious sites that we will focus on and have meetings with governmental officials to continue to strengthen our relationships here. So we'll keep you updated as the trip goes forward.
All right, I want to finish up talking about the Eric Adams trip to Israel. Now, I've done a lot of reports on the Black-Jewish Alliance here in America. The blacks have been extremely helpful to the Jews here. They helped them take over the country. And now what they're doing is they're helping them manage the country. And that's who you see in these inner cities. That's who you see, the mayors, the police chiefs. These are the people that's helping the Jews manage the country. Eric Adams just so happens to be a manager of a place where the Jews are the most powerful in the country. And so this is why he's getting this type of treatment. But anyway, here's the real story behind why he visited Israel, and something we all have to be worried about, people. Israel's a very dangerous country. Israel's been at war since its inception. There's not a day that doesn't go by where they're not bombing somebody or assassinating somebody. They're very dangerous people. But anyway, here's the story, and then we're going to get out of here. New York City Mayor Eric Adams to meet Netanyahu during Israel visit. The trip comes during a tumultuous time in Israel and has drawn criticism from rights groups in the U.S. New York City Mayor Eric Adams will be meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after traveling to Israel on Monday for a 3-day visit to emphasize his close connection with the Jewish community. In a statement Monday, Adams said he planned to learn about Israeli technology and discuss combined efforts to combat anti-Semitism. See, you have to know the code words too, people. Okay? Eric Adams has publicly stated that one of his main goals in traveling to apartheid Israel is to learn more about the regime's high-tech industry under the guise of improving public safety. Listen, people, okay? But the reality is that Israel's tech industry is rooted in violence, producing technology that infamously used to surveil, control, and kill Palestinians under Israeli military occupation. You see, people, they devised all this technology because they could experiment on the Palestinians. This is how they got all this surveillance technology. Eric Adams is going to import that stuff back into the country. That's what he's saying. Okay? The mayor has no business bringing back these deadly technologies to New York. This is what you have to worry about with the Democrats, people. Okay? This is the open door that the Israelis can come in and pull all the stuff that they've been doing on the Palestinians. It's something we have to worry about, people. We're in very, very bad times. Okay? So we have to start paying attention. That's what is happening to us.